Now to tax season, with the filing process officially open for your 2020 taxes, and there are many changes after all the upheaval that we saw caused by the pandemic. So let's bring in our chief business and economics correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, to break it all down for us. So, Rebecca, let's start out with those stimulus checks sent to millions of Americans last year. What do we need to know about how those will impact 2020 taxes?
Lindsay, good to see you. And the good news here is that those stimulus checks are not taxable income at the federal level, so you don't have to pay taxes on the check that you got last year. These were sent out throughout the year to people making $75,000 or less, and households, married couples making $150,000 or less. And there were two rounds of payments, up to $1,200 on the first round and up to $600 on the second round. Here's what's interesting. About 12 million people who were eligible for those stimulus checks, Lindsay, did not receive them. And the good news is your 2020 taxes are a place where you can claim that benefit and then receive it in turn through what's known as the recovery rebate credit. So if you didn't receive your stimulus check, either the $1,200 check or the up to $600 check, you are eligible for that and you can file for it on your taxes.
And there's also a big change with regard to taxes for families that have children. Explain how that works.
Yes, so the earned income tax credit as well as the child care tax credit, these are two big ones that really help families who are in need. And the big change that happened in this last year is that because so many were in need, the federal government is now allowing you to look at either your 2019 income or your 2020 income. Very likely you'll want to use whichever one is lower because that will get you the larger of the benefit. So again, usually you can only look at the past tax year when claiming that benefit. This year you can choose whether it's going to be 2019 or 2020, and that should benefit families who faced hardship, especially unemployment hardship, over this last year, Lindsay.
And here's a question that a lot of people, especially those working from home, are going to be asking this year. Can they get a tax break for that home office?
You know, a lot of people would love that tax break for the home office, especially anyone who invested in something like this thing behind me. Well, guess what? Unless you are self-employed, you cannot, at this point, take that benefit. Now, if you are self-employed and you're not an employee of a company, you are able and eligible to deduct from your taxes and make deductions on the space in your home that you are using exclusively for your work. And that applies to things like heating bills and things like that. So if you have a home and you have a corner of that apartment or that house that you make sure is only exclusively for your work and you're self-employed, you can take those deductions, everything from your phone bill to your utilities to the space itself and what you invest in all of it.
And what about people who've moved or are working remotely from a different state than where their office is based? Could that have an impact on state taxes?
It really could, and this is what's confusing about it. There are a lot of people, there was a huge amount of movement in the last year, and there are definitely the people, for example, who might be living in one place but working in a completely different place, and you could be either double taxed in both places, or you may owe taxes to one of those two places that you have not paid yet. Here's what you need to do. Either way, unfortunately, this is a little tricky, but the best thing you can do for yourself is talk to your HR department. Many HR departments manage these things. Sometimes they will even deduct from your taxes along the way the out-of-state taxes that you would be essentially paying because you're working in a place where you are not currently living. The bottom line here, though, Lindsay, is make that call to your HR department early as opposed to around April 15th when they will be bombarded with phone calls, especially given what we've seen over the last year.
And lastly, for people who are just saying, I need the money now, what is the fastest filing method in order to get that refund?
It's all about the E, electronic filing. And the faster, you will get your money much faster if you electronic e-file. The IRS will let you do it for free on their website if you make $72,000 or less. That's at irs.gov. And one more point here, Lindsay, for anybody who filed an unemployment claim last year, there's a lot of Americans, millions of them, who took unemployment benefits. And one thing to look out for are those Form 1099-Gs. Now, we understand that there are at least some people who collected did those benefits fraudulently. And one thing you might get in the mail that is questionable is a 1099-G form that doesn't look right to you. It might include benefits you didn't receive. Do not worry. What you should do if you didn't receive those benefits is contact immediately your state and local government. Let them know you received this form, you believe it was fraudulent. And when you go to file your taxes as though those unemployment benefits were not benefits that came to you, because they didn't. Lindsay?
Rebecca, I feel like you're a walking, talking TurboTax. Everybody now, thanks to you, they can just sign, stamp, and send. We appreciate all your knowledge. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. I really appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.